Whether you're sourcing in an organized and brightly lit shop like this one, or digging through the chaos like the true trash pandas that most resellers, self-included, are, we've all had some confusion in the moment, brought home a brand that didn't live up to the expectations. Brand name versus brand name. What's a Bolo, and what are the, I hesitate to say, bad brands that are trying to be like them? What's in a brand name anyhow? Today we're going to do some reseller research and compare brands that sound just like other brands. I'll be comparing 2 to 5 brands and be showing what their tag looks like, what the new store tag looks like, and comparing comps on eBay here on the screen. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to Well-Bred Wardrobe. I'm Christin, and this is Thriftmas 2023. Whether you are a new or seasoned reseller, you've probably grabbed at least one shirt with a metal tag thinking you had the brand Free People in your hands, only to discover later you'd been fooled. It's poof. Well, today we're going to talk about brands that sound like other brands. If we are out there in the wild memorizing the best brands to take home with us, what happens when something else that sounds so similar sneaks into our cart? Let's have them fight it out. Up first, review versus preview. First up is Review. Review is an Australian company that's known for vintage-inspired designs. They say that they strive to empower women to wear what makes them feel fantastic. They offer tailored dress perfect for any event, from classy cocktail parties to formal occasions and weddings, and they also have workwear. This is an Australian site, so the prices are listed in Australian dollars. And if you've looked on the screen, then you'll notice it ranges from upper 100s into the $200. That's retail. Now let's check out Preview. Preview, also a classic looking tailored brand, is from Target. While they also offer a collection of stylish, timeless classics that take you from work to evening, the price point is much more affordable. These hover in the 30 to 50 Australian dollar range, and that's brand new. The difference in this brand is literally one letter, but many dollars. Let's have a look at the tags. First up, starting with Review. Here's what I found, including the new with tags store tag, compared to Preview. That one little letter, P, makes a huge difference in what this is going to be worth to you as a reseller. Side by side solds, these are unfiltered, so I just went with whatever the eBay typical filter is, sold first, side by side. These are both great brands to own and wear, but we're concerned about the resale value here. In no way am I saying don't pick up Preview for yourself. I personally think it's a great brand. Next up, we have Supreme versus Supre. Supreme is an American clothing brand and skateboarding lifestyle brand established in New York City in 1994. Supreme is recognized for its influence on streetwear culture with products that cater to skateboarding and urban fashion trends. This has a cult following, and these clothing, particularly the box sweatshirt, sell out fast. There are whole blogs dedicated to how to get one of these sweatshirts, what you can do to up your chances. And if you find something collaboration with a bigger brand, it's like having gold in your hands. Supre is a much lower end, I'd say mid-tier brand that is part of the Cotton On family. Now they do claim to be responsible and sustainable, but their prices are also very affordable. So here's what each of them look like. Supreme, could not find a new with tags, not shocked. And then Supre, I found that one out in the wild, and here are some eBay photos for us to better understand and know the difference. The side-by-side comparables tell us that these brands are in two very different worlds. But if you don't know better and you're asking someone to help you while you source, Supre looks a lot like Supreme on the label. That's all they have in common. Now it's the fight of the Veronicas. Veronica Beard versus Veronica Main. Now, one's with a C and one's with a K, and here's what I like to think of. See you at home, I'm about to get paid, and K, I'm gonna look this one up. No, just me? Okay, well, moving on. It's still not a fair fight because, of course, there are two Veronica Beards. What an interesting story. They married brothers, these Veronicas, and started a clothing company together. A very successful shop at that. I was able to use Australian prices on the website as I browsed through their selection, so just remember these are Australian dollars, not US, for this comparable, but it's still a lot of money, nearly $1,000 for all these. Their most popular item is called the Dickie Jacket, and there are two different styles, so make sure to look it up before listing. It will change the value of your item. Now the other Veronica, Veronica Main. Veronica Main is an Australian brand. Part of the Q family, that's C-U-E, Dion Lee has established himself as the most critically lauded and awarded fashion innovator to emerge from Australia in recent times. He debuted at Australian Fashion Week in 2009, following his graduation from Sydney Institute of Technology in 2008. As a brand, Veronica Main designs timeless pieces using quality fabrics that stand the test of time, and they are now taking a meaningful step towards a sustainable journey. Here's what those tags look like. Veronica Beard versus Veronica Main. I don't think there's a losing brand here. I just think I would be more excited if I found Veronica Beard because, as you'll see in a second, the comparables on eBay for the solds are far greater with Beard versus Main. It makes sense because Veronica Beard retails for so much more than Veronica Main does anyhow, and we can tell that even without having the comparison between Australian and American dollars. Beard is just a higher end designer. Now on to Urban Outfitters versus so many other Urbans and Outfitters. So starting with Urban Outfitters, if you've never been, it's typically found in a mall, and it's part of the Anthropologie and Free People family. You can tell that by looking on the inner tag and finding the RN number, which is 66170, and all three of those brands will have that number on there unless it's an outsourced piece. Urban Outfitters sells a variety of brands, but some actually do just say Urban Outfitters or UO. And because there are so many to look at, we're going to go straight into comps. Here's what eBay is telling us Urban Outfitters is worth on a reseller market. Again, these have not been filtered. This is just from the most recent what's sold. So what's not Urban Outfitters? Well, Zanana Outfitters. I couldn't find much on this brand. It seems to be a lower end boutique found at discount shops. It's probably great to have in your own closet, but it's not going to have any value. And bonus, Zanana is not Zanana Outfitters, but they are so closely linked in names that their comps are tied together. And as you see here, great basic, but not a lot of wiggle room to earn any money. Next up is Urban Pipeline, or UP. And this one's not so bad. It seems to mostly have menswear. It was originally from Kohl's. They no longer make it, and a lot of guys are still looking for these pieces. So depending on what it is you have and how much you pay for it, you can flip it for a profit. I found mostly the jeans and the cool sweaters that were 90s style, specifically tagged with Nirvana or Kurt. Moving on to Urban Cocoa. This one is a lower end brand sold mostly on Amazon. The schoolgirl skirts seem to do okay, which surprised me, but most everything else is going to go for a fairly low price. You can see the comps here. It's a little bit of everything. Those skirts are what people seem to know this brand for. Everything else was not so fantastic. Now, Urban Romantics. This is another lower end, not great quality brand that you can find at TJ or TK if you're in Australia, Max. Here are the comps, starting with $1.99, but then followed by $25.03. So it really depends. Style, what you have, how you market it, and how much you are paying for it, depending on if you want to pick it up and try to flip it. I'd skip it. Now, I originally thought I would have a 5th grouping, and it's coming soon. Anything John. You guys, there are so many brands with the word John in it. It's insane. I can do a whole 8 minutes tomorrow just on brands with John. And as it is sweltering outside today, well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that's into the 40s Celsius, it is time for me to step away from the computer and go find a way to cool off. So that's it for this chapter. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.